So it's Thursday evening, it's our Mobiliser, and we're going to start out nice and relaxed. We're going to sit on the mat here for a moment, and you can sit with your legs crossed or your legs out in front, whatever is comfortable for you. And I want you to take a moment, focus on the breath, take a nice big breath in, and as you exhale, feel some of the tension releasing from the shoulders. If you're working from home, then chances are you spent a lot of your day sitting at the computer or sitting at a desk or maybe in a less than perfect position on the couch with a laptop, and probably feeling that in the shoulders and the neck. So we're going to work on those a little bit this evening. To start out, I'd like you to think of sitting up nice and tall. Imagine you're being lifted by the crown of the head, and your sit bones, two bones in the backside, firmly anchored down into the floor. And in this nice tall position, taking a big breath in, letting it fill up the stomach and the chest, coming right up into the shoulders, and exhale, staying tall but releasing the tension. Now we're going to bring the right hand up overhead, and we're going to bring the left hand back slightly behind us for support to help us stay tall as we reach up, feeling the stretch along this side here. Staying tall, reaching up with the arm, coming slightly across. Again, keeping the two sit bones firmly anchored down into the ground. Each time as you stretch, take a nice big breath in, just to get the most out of that stretch. And once more. And we exhale and release back down, still staying tall all the time. Switching sides, right hand is now slightly behind, the left hand reaching up. Nice big stretch on the inhale, and we're coming across. You can move the hand if you need to, keeping the arm straight to help you stay tall, keeping that long spine as we stretch down along the outside, right from the hips into the lower back, on the outside of the lower back, in across the ribs, into the big muscles, the lats, and right into the shoulders and the back of the arm. Staying tall, keeping those sit bones anchored into the ground, and really reaching up and slightly across for our stretch. And exhale and relax and release it to the center again. Give the shoulders a little bit of a wiggle. We're going to do a side twist. So again, planting the hand behind. This time hand is in front, or the wrist at the back of the knee as we turn. Again, trying to stay tall, keeping the sit bones anchored into the ground. Nice big breath in, feel where the tension is, and exhale, releasing some of that tension. I'm going to stay here for another 2 nice big breaths in and out. Be aware of your shoulders here. Don't want to let them right up towards your ears. And exhale and release back to the center. Switching around to the other side. Again, hand is behind, wrist or hand to the top of the thigh, just above the knee. And you're pressing the wrist or the hand into the thigh. Give you a little bit of leverage as you turn. And each time as you exhale, feel some of that tension releasing. And if you can go a little bit farther into the stretch, that's great. And one more big breath in and out. And exhale, coming back to the center. We're coming onto our backs now. We're going to keep the knees bent and the feet approximately hip width apart. Starting out with our hip release on the right leg. So we're going to lower that right knee out to the floor, keeping the lower back printed down into the mat. Exhale as you push the heel away, keeping control. Turn the leg so the toes are pointing up towards the ceiling, and drag the heel back in towards your backside. And I'm going to move up on my mat a little bit because my foot's sliding off. Want it to be as relaxed a process as we can manage, so lowering that leg out to the side, keeping control, making sure you're not wobbling all over the place. Exhale as you slide the leg away, turn the foot inwards, toes up to the ceiling, and pull that heel in along the floor towards your butt. So slow and gentle is the recipe for this one. Taking it nice and easy. And switching over to the other leg. Same thing. Keep the back printed down into the mat as you lower the left leg out to the side. Push the heel away, sliding it down the mat, and pull the heel back in. Remember, the leg that's not moving shouldn't be wobbling as a counterweight. Keeping it nice and steady. And last time, lowering the leg out to the side, keeping the back printed into the mat, pushing the heel away, and dragging the heel back in. From here, we're going to bring in our hip bridge, lifting the hips up and slowly peeling up away from the mat, rolling up along the spine, coming right up onto the back of the neck almost, and rounding the shoulders, rounding the back, coming down slowly, slowly, keeping under control all the time. Gradually lowering back down. When the hips touch down, create that space behind the lower back, so you're creating the arch, then flattening the lower back into the mat once again as you lift the hips and roll up along the back. So lifting the spine up one vertebrae at a time, keeping control, coming up as high as you can with the hips at the top, and rounding down. It can be helpful to keep control on this if you exhale on the way down. And you can either inhale on the way up, or you can exhale on the way up, pause at the top for your breath in, and then exhale on the way down. It can help to synchronize the breathing to the movement. We've got one more here. I'm exhaling as I lift up. Inhaling at the top and then exhaling down again. Slow and steady is crucial on this one to get the most out of it. From here, as we're on our backs, we're going into our windscreen wipers. So bringing the legs up to tabletop position. We're going to lower them out to the right first, keeping both shoulders down on the mat. And again, making sure the shoulders aren't coming up to meet your ears, keeping them in place. Take a nice deep breath once you get to the end position, and then exhale and pull back towards the center. Switching out to the other side. All very gentle. Work with your own range of movement. If your knees can come down to the floor, that's great. If not, that's fine too. You stop wherever you need to stop in order to keep this shoulder down on the floor. And exhaling back to center. Coming out to the right again. Pausing at the end and exhale to center. Dropping to the left. Pausing at the end to feel the stretch. And exhale to center. Twice more. Again, making sure to keep the shoulder down. If it's inclined to lift, turn your head towards the shoulder that's lifting. And that extra little bit of weight of the head will help you to keep the shoulder down. There we go. So nicely loosened up around the sides and the hips. We're going to come into a figure four stretch now, or a variation on the figure four stretch. So I'm taking my left foot up off the floor. I'm going to turn it so my foot is facing my right and I'm reaching up with my right hand. So here, I'm going to experiment a little bit. I'm going to bring the foot towards me, bringing the knee towards me, and I can adjust the leg kind of in or out to the left or right. I want to feel this in the backside. So there's a stretch on the butt. And this is kind of an all or nothing stretch. You feel nothing, 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 and then you hit the right spot and it's a very strong stretch quite suddenly. We don't want to go to the point of pain, but it should be uncomfortable. And we're going to release that one, planting that foot down the mat, and working the other side now. So you find that point by pulling on the foot, pulling on the outside of the knee gently. Generally don't have to use a lot of pressure here. You'll find it quite easily. And once you find that point, take a nice big breath in, becoming aware of where the tension is, and as you exhale, feel the tension release. And once more, one more nice big deep breath in and out. And relax it down. I'm going to focus a bit of attention on the shoulders next. I'm going to start out hands directly up over the shoulders. I'm going to inhale as we stretch the fingertips towards the ceiling. Reaching up, feeling those shoulder blades separate, and exhale, pull them down against the mat. Inhale, reaching upwards, and exhale down. Inhale upwards, feeling them stretch apart. Keeping the fingers spread, really reaching, stretching the hands as well as the back. Pulling back down on the exhale. Last two, reaching up. Exhale down, retracting the shoulder blades, pulling them back together. Inhale up for the last one. And exhale down. from here. I'm going to bring the right hand back behind the head. And exhale up. Left arm. Bring it back. Exhale up. So each time inhaling down. Exhale as we pull the arm back to that vertical position. Switching arms each time. And the last one. And there we go. Relaxing the arms down. We're coming over onto the hands and knees. And we're into our kneeling Superman. We want the feet, the knees about hip width apart, hands about shoulder width apart. And remember, we're going for length on this rather than height. So as we shift the balance onto one hand and one knee, opposite arm and leg are lifting. Thumb up towards the ceiling, toes down towards the floor, heel pushing back, fingertips stretching away, and release down. Remember, on this we inhale as we lift, stretching the fingertips away, stretching the heel back behind, and exhale down. Nice and slow and steady. Exhale down. Inhale as we lift. Anytime the arm is opening up space at the armpit, that's generally a good moment to inhale. I'm going for one more on each side. Good stuff. We're coming onto our sides. We're going to do a hip hitch. And we're going to hold. So get yourself set up. Hips and shoulders are stacked. Legs are stretched, toes pointed away. Relax the head down into the hand. Take a breath in. And as we start to lift, you're going to exhale. And stay here, keep those legs up. Inhaling, keeping the core engaged. Exhale. Keeping those legs up, really working that muscle just over the hips. Very strongly engaged in stabilizing the lower back. One more deep breath in and out. And as you exhale, release down. And we switch to the other side. So once again, supporting the head with the hand. Make sure the shoulders are stacked one above the other, hips stacked one above the other, the legs are stretched, toes are pointed away. Core zipped up gently. Legs are lifted. We take our breath and exhale and lift, keeping the core engaged, staying nice and steady, head relaxed into the hands. And we're going to breathe steadily through this, keeping the core gently zipped up, really feeling the tension here in this muscle just above the hips. Quadratus lumborum if you want to get technical, but that's more detail than you need probably. One more deep breath in and out here. And as you exhale, we're gently releasing the legs down. Great stuff. We're back to our hands and knees. We're going to limber up the spine a little bit more with our cat and cow or cat and camel. Starting in our neutral position here, hands under the shoulders, knees under the hips. Nice wide base of support. We're going to inhale and exhale. Bring the chin into the chest, tuck the tailbone in underneath. Pushing the back up as high towards the ceiling as you can manage. And we take a big breath in here and exhale as we move. Pushing the tailbone back, looking up in front, allowing the lower back to drop. Once again, big breath in here and exhale to move. Inhale, exhale to move. And again, big breath at the end. Exhale as you move. Pushing the back up high towards the ceiling, chin onto the chest, tailbone tucked under. And exhale. Pushing the tailbone away. Unwinding the spine, looking up in front. Big breath in and exhale as you move, pulling the tailbone under, pushing the back up towards the ceiling, and chin on the chest. Last time, big breath in, exhale to move. Tailbone push back, looking up in front, and final part. Inhale and exhale, come back to neutral. Excellent. We're coming up to one knee now. Coming into our shoulder openers, our hip and shoulder openers. And I'll actually come to this side so that you can see what I'm doing a little bit more easily. So right foot is forward, both hands are down on the floor, either side of the foot. From here we inhale as we take the right hand away from the floor, pointing the elbow up to the ceiling, reaching up with the hand, actively pushing down through the floor with the left hand. Two ways of going about this. If you need to concentrate on the shoulders, you can let your butt move backwards and it'll take the pressure off at the hips. If you want to get that stretch at the hips, you make sure the butt and hips stay forward. Both ways are correct. Use whichever one works better for you today. Hand comes back down and we're going to repeat. So we inhale as we lift, elbow towards the ceiling. Pushing the hand down into the floor and exhale, fold at the elbow, bring the hand back down. 3 more. Inhaling as we open up at the shoulder, stretching for the ceiling, pushing down, fold the elbow and bring the hand back down. 2 more. Inhaling up, I'm keeping my hips forward. Again, you do whichever version is going to be most beneficial for you today. Last one on this side. And we switch to the other side. I'm going to just turn myself around here. So same thing, I'm going to bring my left foot forward. So my foot is between my hands, and from here I'm going to inhale as I reach up for the ceiling. I'm keeping my hips forward. I want to get the best of both worlds. Exhale down, plant the hand, and again. Inhale as we open up with the shoulders, reaching up for the ceiling, actively pushing down into the mat with the right hand. Big breath in and exhale down. Here we go again. Inhaling up, Filling the lungs at the top of the movement. Exhale down. Last two. Inhaling up. Feel that stretch. Reaching up, pushing down, pushing the hips forward if you want to. And exhale down. Last time. Inhaling up, stretching, pushing, and exhale down. So from there, coming onto the other knee once again. And turning around here. If you find there's a lot of pressure on the knees on this stuff where we're on the floor for a few in a row, double up your mat, triple it up, fold it up, put a towel underneath your knee, whatever you need to do to make it more comfortable. From here, starting off square, shoulders are straight forward, hips are straight forward, palms together. We're going to twist towards that knee, come forward to bring the elbow to the outside of the knee, and using the pressure of the elbow against the knee or the thigh to help you twist that little bit more, getting a stretch on the opposite side. So when I'm twisting to my right here, I should feel it on my left side. Breathing through the movement. Each time feeling some of the tension release. And as you inhale again, feel this stretch increase. We're going to take one final breath in and out here. And exhale, release out of that. We're going to come to the other side. And again, I'll switch sides. So here we go from our nice squared off position. Hips are square, shoulders are square. Exhaling as I come to the left, bringing the elbow to the outside of the knee. You'll find you're more mobile on one side than the other, that's fine. That rear foot, you can have the foot stretched away, or you can be up on the toes. Whatever works for you, both are fine. Again, pressing with the back of the elbow here onto the thigh or the side of the knee. You don't want bone on bone. That's not going to be very comfortable. Just pressing until you feel the stretch on the opposite side. Also stretching on the outside of the thigh and strengthening as well. And we're going to go one more big deep breath in and out. And as we exhale, we can release. Great stuff. How are you feeling now after that? We're getting closer to the end. Very gentle session. We still got a bit to go. We're about 2/3 of the way through. So we're going to spend a little bit more time on this long, slow stretch to get you nicely loosened up and limbered up on the back of the body. So starting off nice and tall, reaching up to the ceiling, taking a big deep breath in, and exhale, let the arms come down, bring the chin down onto the chest, and we round the shoulders, and we're coming down really, really slow. Take your time with this one. So we're coming down slow, gravity is doing the work. Letting the hips drift backwards as we slowly relax down towards the floor. Keeping the chin on the chest, arms are relaxed and hanging. We're not reaching down here. And once you get to a point where you're starting to feel a bit of tension in the back of the legs, bend the knees slightly. And that'll allow you to come down and relax down further into the stretch. Again, keeping the chin on the chest, letting gravity do the work. And if it's comfortable for you to do so, you can shift your weight slightly from the back of your foot to the front, rocking back and forth gently. So forwards and backwards. Remembering to breathe nice, long, slow, steady breaths. Remember, we're not trying to force our way into any stretch here. We are trying to relax into the stretch. So if it feels like there's a lot of pressure or a lot of tension, ease out of it. You can either come up slightly or you can bend the knees slightly more. Whichever works better for you. I'm going to stay here for another 2 or 3 deep breaths. And on the next deep breath, you're going to rock back, put the weight into your heels and bring your fingertips in underneath your toes. Now in this position, as you exhale, you're going to straighten the legs slightly, keeping your hands or your fingertips in under the toes. Getting a nice stretch in the back of the legs. Uncomfortable is okay, painful is not, so if it's starting to get painful, bend the knees a little bit. Otherwise, straighten them as much as is comfortable. And again, keeping the rest of the body relaxed. We're taking our time with this one. Keeping the fingertips in underneath the toes. Shifting the weight forwards and backwards. And relaxing as much as we can each time. One last big breath in and out. And we're going to bend the knees, release the fingertips from underneath the toes, and we're going to come up slowly. So we're straightening the legs first, then coming up from the hips, straightening up the back. Bringing the hips in, underneath the shoulders, keeping the chin on the chest, nice and slow as we come up. Should be fairly relaxed. And coming up tall. Going to give the shoulders a little bit of a shake out. Give the legs a little bit of a shake out as well, a little bit of a kick. It's quite a strong stretch on the hamstrings, that one. I'm sure you could feel it. Excellent. Especially like most of us working from home, if you're sitting at a desk all day, you'll find the hamstrings get quite tight. And that's a really good way to relax it and loosen it out. They're at full stretch across the knee joint, they're at full stretch across the hips as well. So it's a really good way to loosen them out. Just to give you a little bit of energy again, don't want you falling asleep the moment the class is over. We're going to bring the knee, one knee up, and we're going to give it a little bit of a hug. So you're balancing on one leg as you're giving yourself that little bit of a stretch into the back of the hip. It's also a good test of balance. Congratulations, you've passed. And we're going to leave this foot down, coming onto the other leg. Give that one a bit of a shake. And we're coming up onto the other foot. Bringing that knee up, giving it a little bit of a hug. again. Giving the back of the hip a little bit of a stretch, working on the balance. All those postural muscles in the back as well are very active here, keeping you nice and tall and upright. And we can relax that one down as well. Good news, we're nearly done. Give the arms a little bit of a shake out. We're going to reach out wide, fingertips coming to either side, reaching, stretching as far as you can, fingertips apart. Thumbs up towards the ceiling. Big deep breath in and out. Check in with your shoulders, make sure they're not up at your ears. We don't need any gravity defying shoulders here today. Now we're going to go thumbs back behind you, so it's palms up towards the ceiling. Nice deep breath in, and remember, go for length through the arms, reaching the fingertips to the opposite walls, keeping the palms turned up. So this is quite a strong stretch. Now we're going to make it even stronger by bringing the hands back, bringing your thumbs back towards the wall behind you. Nice big deep breath in here. And we can relax the arms forward and bring them down. Give them a little bit of a shake. Just to stretch the back of the shoulders now, we're going to come up here, one arm on top of the other, and it's almost like you're giving yourself a hug. You're pulling both arms down onto your chest, and you're holding onto the back of both shoulders. Taking a big breath in and pulling the arms down onto the chest as you exhale. Stretching the back. Switching arms so that the other one is on top this time. Again, nice big breath in. And pushing down onto the chest. Stretching the backs of the shoulders. We're almost there. Final stretch. Bringing one hand up behind your back. Trying to reach in between your shoulder blades. Other hand comes up overhead. Trying to join the fingertips together. If you can't get the fingertips together, you can hold a little small towel or something like that. A belt, a strap that might hold your mat together, a shoelace. Anything will do really. We're going to hold this for 3 deep breaths in and out. Each time on the exhale, think of pulling the hands towards each other. So exhale, pull the hands towards each other. One more time, keeping that elbow up high. And relax. And switch to the other side. And you will find one side is always better than the other. So again, bringing the hand up behind the shoulder blades. Reaching down from above. And as we inhale, you're pulling the hands together. Sorry, as you exhale, pulling the hands together. Big deep breath in, increasing the stretch, and then as you exhale, pulling the hands together again, keeping the elbow up nice and high. And last time. And release down. And giving the shoulders a bit of a shake. Try to break any tension that we've created there. Just to roll them out, just to loosen them out forwards and backwards. Very simple. Work with your range of movement and go with how they feel. And there we go. That is your Mobiliser done for today. Very gentle class this evening. Hope you enjoyed that. Feel the benefit of that. See you soon.